Alright, it is Thursday, August the 12th, and the main watch list is a bit smaller. I will be looking at RGBP if it does a morning panic bounce play again. Ideally, maybe something that is cleaner, and if it trades well enough, I will try again with a larger size in theory. Again, just slowly trying to push myself to trade better, trade larger on setups that I have the most experience with. If it looks like it might be worth it, I'll consider it. And SAV will just be a wash to see what this one does. Maybe it can continue the uptrend. I'm really not interested in the morning panic bounce play unless it just looks super clean. LKNCY had some interesting price action the other day. It just kind of fell off a cliff. Maybe today could be a morning panic bounce play. I might consider this one, although this one would be a bit sketchy because it is a high priced OTC. HPIL could also be a morning panic bounce play if it looks nice, if it looks clean, but it doesn't have to happen. So I have some other stocks on the other watch list on the other screen. I think one of them is a listed stock that I added. This one, maybe some kind of setup if it were to turn around and break the day highs, perhaps. I mean, it's fallen a lot. Probably not the best one, but it's just small speculative ideas like that I have right now. I'm gonna focus on morning panic bounce plays if we get any. Alright, it is 9:49 RGBP. I did try for a morning panic bounce play, but it failed, and I cut losses quickly. Just a tiny $5 loss, 1.29%, not the largest size. I was actually thinking of going larger when it was back here, but the thing just kept downtrending, so I didn't like it anymore. It didn't look as clean. I took a buy at big volume dump right here. Maybe whoever was that bag holder is finally out, but or whoever was trying to sell a lot. I was in at 945, and that was right here. I bought at 217, which was the ask, and I was risking 215 cracking, right? So when it cracked at 948, which was right here, it cracked below 15. I sold at 14. I don't regret the trade. I tried it. It could have worked out. It didn't work out. It's just maybe not too perfect because there could be a bunch of people who are selling from all of that previous price action. Maybe it's going to turn around here. I would hate to buy at 216. I guess 212 was being executed, but to buy at 212, and then where would I risk? 208? I don't know if I really want to do that. I can let this thing spike without me. I did save myself from this downtrend, right, in the 205 level. Again, just cutting losses quickly, so it didn't work out here, but that's fine. I was watching HPIL. This might look a little better. I could buy 83 and risk 81, but the problem is that VWAP is 86. That's not, I guess the range isn't that bad because it is give or take 10%, not extremely 10%, but close, so it's not the worst. FLGC, I was watching this. It looks like it was trying again for a breakout. It looks like it's going to turn around instead. LKNCY did do a morning spike. NSAV, it had a spike, a downtrend. I wouldn't have traded this, so I'll keep looking at RGBP to see what this does eventually, as well as HPIL. HPIL could turn around. I see like an inverse head and shoulders. Not a perfect one, obviously, because this is right at the head, but if you count the wick, it kind of works. It could try to turn around here, but it doesn't have to, and I wouldn't trade large either because it's not really that clean looking. Alright, it is 10:08 a.m. and these things are looking like it looks really boring. It's like watching paint dry. So I have a lot of things to do to catch up with on my the main thing I do for money, my main source of income. No way I could be making money off of these trades right now. It's just I'm just trying to understand the concept of trading profitably. I'm not trying to make a home run, although I am trying to trade slowly but surely larger position sizes. But morning panic bounce plays have not really been working that well. RGBP did at least try a little here. I could have considered a buy risking 205 and an entry at maybe 210ish. I guess 209 would have been the level. A little spike right here, but it's not really trading very well. At least it doesn't have like a very large spread. It seems to have a normal spread. VWAP would be 219. It just isn't, the range isn't as good as it can be. HPIL did turn around. This is nice, so I'm happy to see this one work out. Maybe because the spike is right at its highs, while you look at something like RGBP, its spike right here is way off of its high, so maybe that's why HPIL is just doing better in theory. But yeah, I mean, it did get to VWAP right here. I could have been in maybe at 82 or 83, maybe even 84 at the worst case. And I mean, it did get to 86, but that was it. It's just not much range today. I did see this potential inverse head and shoulders, but I don't want to trade it because the volume is also bad here, and it's a high priced OTC. And SAV can continue an uptrend, but I'm actually going to call it off kind of early. Maybe I'll check later in the day, but I have a lot of work I could catch up with. These things are not looking that nice, and I'm glad that I acknowledged it. I'm not trying to push myself too hard on some of these setups that aren't looking that nice. There have been a lot better setups previously, so none of these are going to get any of my money. I'm not going to trade it. I'm just going to let them be. Hopefully we can start seeing some better price action towards the end of the month, or maybe even like tomorrow. But right now I don't see anything that I really want. There is just not really good price action. There's no setups that are really looking nice, so I'm totally fine with that. There is a chance one of these can do some kind of a clean setup, or maybe some kind of a first day runner just pops up out of nowhere because of some news or whatever. That's totally fine. I'm gonna go ahead and work on my main thing, and I will make an update later. But yeah, there is just nothing that's really nice. I'm glad I did try with RGBP, even though it didn't work out. This one could have been a solid setup. Was it around here at 945? Yeah, 945 was my entry right here, risking off of this level that it touched previously, and then I cut right here. That was an okay try. You know, that wasn't the worst setup. It was trading not too bad at that point, and VWAP was still pretty nice, 21 to 22.9, so it wasn't completely horrible. I need to figure out what percent gain that would have been. If it was like maybe just 4%, maybe I shouldn't even have traded it. I can try to get better with that. I'm glad to see at least one of these kind of work. HPIL, the sketchy inverse head and shoulders. So yeah, I'll make an update later. Alright, it is 7:19 and I'm here to call it off. I want to see what the markets have done since. I was looking at the markets a little bit when it was around 12 while I was working on a bunch of orders, and I did see one with, I think it wasn't this one, it was LTNC, and I was watching it. It was like a breakout, intraday breakout at 15, and when was it? I guess it was here. Yeah, it was right here, and it broke past 15 the most unconvincing way possible, where it breaks 15, it gets to 15.7, and then it goes back to 15, which is nice, but then it had these sketchy wicks, and then all these big candles. Oh, I don't want to chase, and then it kind of consolidated, has some sketchy price movement, but you know, it didn't really move that much further than 17, although this was a move nonetheless. Maybe this would work with that 3 ticker rule, where maybe there's 1, 2, 3 clean tickers, and then you risk the bottom of that third one. These things might have stopped me out, and then it continued the uptrend, so I don't really mind that. LTNC could be something if it tries to make more movements towards the upside, but there's a lot of bag holders, people who just, I don't know, they don't want to study, put in the effort. They just want something to go to the moon, and it did. But I guess when you're at the moon, you need to make sure you actually sell it. HPIL, what did it do? So this is what I've also noticed. HPIL, you can see this is the one, it did turn around. I could have considered an entry at like 83, I think, or when was it, 82, 83. It did get as high as what, 97, so there was some range, but Again, these things don't really have the best volume. This would have been hard to hold through, but you know, from here 82 to 89, that's not that bad in terms of range. This thing did bottom out. RGBP did bottom out, even though I barely bounced. So this one bounced the least, right? 205 to 217. NSAV was also similar, and then it had it. I'm starting to think that some of these is no longer the morning panic bounce play setup I like, where it bounces back immediately, nice and quickly. A lot of these just kind of find a bottom around 940 something, so I'll take that into consideration. Like maybe not a clean morning panic bounce play, but some of these are just kind of open and then they downtrend slowly until it hits around that 940-ish level, and then it starts to uptrend. And this one did provide an uptrend NSAV, although this one's super sketchy, the trade. I just don't want to really trade it. So that's what I have. I did try one trade, it didn't work out. RGBP, that was 945. It was in this range. When the day low broke here, right there I cut the trade. That was a good attempt, but I need to take into consideration that some of these aren't going to be like that clean morning panic bounce play that I want. It's just going to take a really long time. They dropped to like 940-ish. This one was a bit later, and then it uptrends a little, as it did here, as it did here. Even this one, although this one would have been kind of sketchy. Yeah, so that's all I got. I'm gonna call it off. A small tiny loss. It was what, $5, a little over 1%. Nothing huge. I didn't go large either. So yeah, that's all I got. I'll make an update tomorrow. Just gonna be the last trading day of the week, but unfortunately, at least right now, OTC setups are looking pretty disgusting, and that's fine.